As my last official duty as president of the Southern High School FFA chapter, we will now install the new officers for the 2013-2014 school year. On May 4th, several of our FFA members were interviewed by a panel of judges in hopes that they would be selected chapter officers for the upcoming year. At this time, I would like to call on Margie Chase to the podium to deliver the report of the nominating committee. I would ask that the present officers stand behind their stations and welcome the new officers, and for the new officers to come forward as their names are called.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I announce the 2013-2014 officers, Dr. Rice had asked me to tell you a little bit about the process that the candidates had to go through. So the first thing was that they had to decide if they were interested in holding an office, and if they were, they completed an application. Then this past Saturday, the candidates all gathered at the high school, where there was a committee that was going to evaluate and interview them to determine what position they would be best suited for. The first thing that they had to do on Saturday was to take a written test, and that exam was based on information that was in the FFA manual. They were given that previously so that they could study for it. Then they came into our room one by one, and we did an interview individually. There were 5 judges. We were asking individual questions, same questions to all candidates. After that, there was the speaking part that they had to take. And that was very interesting. Andrea had put out several items on a table. The students came in one at a time, and they had to choose from about 10 or 12 different items. They had, from the time they left the table till they got to the center of the room, to think of what they were going to say to the judges that would link that item to FFA and to agriculture. So some of the items, just to give you a little bit of an idea, was an ear of corn, a wooden matchstick, a $1 bill, a package of tomato seeds, a crab hammer. There was several other things that they could choose from, and it was up to them what they decided to select. Very interesting. I was amazed. They had about 1 minute to tell us what they wanted to about that particular item. Then after that, we went and had lunch, and we were able to sit and talk to them individually or as a group. And from there, they were paired up into 2 teams. Those 2 teams were put in 2 different rooms, and they were given an assignment to develop a PowerPoint presentation as if they were going to present to the middle school in trying to recruit the middle school students into the FFA program and into the agricultural program. So from the judges, we were able to go from each room and watch them to see how they interacted with each other. You know, who came up as the leader, who was the timekeeper, you know, who was really getting involved and who kind of stayed back. So that was another interesting concept to this. After they were done, they had 30 minutes to do that. They came back into the room, one group at a time, and actually presented their PowerPoint presentation to us. Each person took a part in that presentation. From there, we brought them back into the room. There were 9 candidates that sat in front of 5 judges. This was called the group interview, and this is where the judges, we were able to ask random questions to the students. We weren't directing it to anyone in particular, we were just throwing a question out. And it was up to them to figure out who was going to answer and then how were they going to feed off of that. So again, it gave us an opportunity to see how they were going to be in front of groups of people when they had to intermingle with others. Then the challenge came. The candidates were all dismissed, and the 5 judges were left to make a decision. 9 candidates, 7 positions. What were we going to do? And I have to tell you that it was very difficult for us. The judges that were with myself, Jack Hine, who's with us tonight, Chris Griffith wasn't able to make it tonight, Dave Myers is with the County Extension, and Bart Williams. That was our judge committee. So we sat there and we deliberated over all of the facts that we had gathered through the day. and we came up with our 2013-2014 slate of officers. And I have to tell you again, this is very difficult for us to do. 9 excellent candidates and only 7 positions. So it is our hope that those that are not selected tonight, that they will remain very active in the FFA and in the agricultural program, and that they will perhaps step up to hold a committee officer position, because there are several committees that the FFA appoints. So without any more, I'm going to announce the 2013-2014 slate of officers. As I call your name, if you would please come forward and take your station by the current presidents. The parliamentarian is Sarah Tenno. The sentinel is Carter Duncan. The reporter is Abigail Bolander. The treasurer is Lindsay Catterton. Secretary is Sierra Chris. Vice President, Kelly Poe. And your new president for 2013-2014 is Brooke Catterton. For the upcoming year. Thank you and congratulations to everyone.
Okay. As parliamentarian-elect, you have been selected by our fellow members to know and share information about parliamentary law and assist members in proper meeting procedure and etiquette so that we can accomplish the business of the chapter. You may be called on from time to time by the president and the members for procedural matters.
I'm not going to
All right.
Carter, as Sentinel-elect, your duties include welcoming our friends, caring for the meeting room and FFA equipment, and providing for the comfort of our members and guests. It is also your duty, my duty, in conducting meetings and ceremonies.
Carter is taken down. But we made him a promise, and we learned this thing at state convention. It was state convention. So we got to do it for Carter. Come on.
Alright guys, this is called the Oreo Power Clap. Alright, what you do, you take your giant Oreo like this, and you separate it like this, alright? And then you go 1, 2, and I learned this because I was taught that the officers made sure they taught me. It's 2 licks, not 1. So you go, Alright, so you lick it twice, smush it together, that's the clap right there. And you take a bite. Alright? Dunk it, take a bite. Alright, so we're gonna do it, alright, everyone? 1, 2, 3.
Abby, as reporter-elect, your duty is to inform the public about the FFA. You're expected to work closely with the news media, including state and national FFA publications. You should keep a record of photographs and articles published concerning the FFA and its members, and be responsible for compiling our FFA history.
Lindsay, as treasurer-elect, you have been placed in a position of trust. Your duties require you to keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements, and to provide regular financial reports. It is also your responsibility to assist in developing the chapter budget and maintaining sound financial practices.
Sierra, as secretary-elect, you've been chosen to keep accurate minutes of our meetings and to carry on the chapter correspondence. You should provide the chapter with the order of business and committee assignments for each meeting. You will also keep a list of members and records of degree awards and have custody to the Constitution and bylaws.
Kelly, as Vice President, your record of accomplishments indicates you have those qualities of leadership which we should all possess. You are to assist the President in directing the work of our chapter, preside over meetings in her absence, and keep all committees working effectively.
Brooke, as president-elect, you have been selected by our fellow members to be the leader of our chapter for the coming year. You are therefore responsible for guiding our chapter in all its worthy undertakings. May you work intelligently and seriously to fulfill the responsibilities of your office. It is an honor to be an officer in the FFA. Go ahead, get it. It is an honor to be an officer in the FFA. From time to time during the year, you may encounter difficult problems, but through cooperation, hard work, and dedication, you will succeed and the FFA will prosper. Do each of you accept the responsibilities of your office, and will you do your best to uphold the ideals and principles of the FFA? If so, answer, we do.
We do.
I now declare each of you properly and duly installed in the respective office to which you were elected. May your years of service be marked by integrity, dedication, and cooperative spirit. Seek harmony among your fellow officers and set high standards of leadership for all FFA members. Retiring officers, please escort the newly installed officers to their stations.
Madam Secretary, do you have any record of any further business which we should now be transacted? Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? If no, we are about to adjourn this banquet of the Southern High School FFA. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just as in our dealings. Courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in the salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now declare this meeting adjourned.
You want to stop that?